Freedom consists not in doing what we like, but in having the right to do what we ought. The moral life requires ongoing conversion and conformity to the truth revealed by God. The moral life requires courage and fortitude to resist the allure of moral relativism and cultural pressures. The moral life is not a rigid legalism, but a joyful response to God's loving plan for humanity. Conscience is the witness of God Himself, whose voice echoes in the hearts of all men. The call to holiness and perfection is an integral part of the Christian vocation. The moral teachings of the Church offer guidance and support in navigating the complexities of ethical choices. The moral law is not arbitrary, but rooted in the objective nature of reality and the human person. Man's freedom attains its true fulfillment only when it is directed towards what is truly good. Morality is not a burden imposed from without, but a gift received from within. The search for truth and the desire for moral goodness are fundamental aspirations of the human heart. The moral life requires a constant examination of conscience and a commitment to ongoing conversion. The power to decide what is good and what is evil does not belong to man, but to God alone. The moral life is not a mere collection of rules, but a participation in God's divine plan. The moral law leads us to authentic happiness and fulfillment, as it aligns us with God's divine plan for our lives. The pursuit of moral excellence is a lifelong journey of growth, holiness, and sanctification. The commandments of God are not burdensome, but rather the path to true freedom and happiness. Moral acts have a profound impact on the shaping of one's character and destiny. The moral life calls for discernment and prudence in making choices that align with the good. The moral law invites us to embrace a life of virtue and self-giving love. The moral law is not a set of arbitrary rules, but the expression of God's wisdom and love for humanity. The moral law is grounded in the very nature of the human person, who is created in the image and likeness of God. Moral responsibility extends to both individual actions and the structures of society. The moral life calls us to imitate Christ and live in accordance with the teachings of the gospel. The dignity of the human person is inviolable and must be respected in every situation. The pursuit of moral excellence is an ongoing journey of growth and spiritual maturity. The moral law is not a burden, but a path to true freedom and fulfillment. The moral life requires humility, openness to correction, and a sincere desire for personal and spiritual growth. The truth of moral norms is not determined by popular opinion or individual preferences, but by the objective order established by God. True freedom is found in the pursuit of virtue and the fulfillment of one's moral obligations. The moral virtues strengthen the will and enable us to resist the temptations of sin. The pursuit of moral truth requires humility, openness to correction, and a sincere desire for personal and spiritual growth.